You see that clock right there, I guess. Yeah, we
Yeah.
live.
All right.
Okay,
Good
we are
morning.
live.
Good
Welcome,
morning.
welcome, y'all. New Religion Network. Tapped in. We here. Another intellectual dialogue with the bros. It's Juneteenth. I don't. It should be a happy day for you, regardless. But we here to talk about it. You know what I mean? A little bit of history on it and all that. We got the bros here. Everybody here. Say what's up, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Salute everybody out there.
We lost
All
a
right.
brother.
Yeah, we
We
lost the
lost a
bros
brother.
for
But
one of them days.
Shalom, Shalom. This is Prince of War. New Religion Network. Getting it going. We tapped in. So we request everybody to log in now. Share, share, subscribe if you could, and definitely pass this off and share to our people.
Yes. All right. So I mean, we all know the history, right, of this Juneteenth, right? So basically, you know, I I guess we all got different aspects. I'll touch on it basically while we try to get Rosewood back in here and we'll try to multitask so I don't hold y'all up. But I mean basically it's a few different reactions, right? It's kind of divided. We got a group of people that's saying why is we celebrating Juneteenth and it's nonsense and this and that. Then you got, another group of people that's barbecuing and loving it. We have 14 senators that uh we had 14 senators vote against the bill. So of course they was white, and of course it was places like no disrespect to where you at, brother, but of course it was places like Arizona and those Texas and those places that got history of not giving to what about us. You know what I'm saying? So you even had this the other black white supremacist, Candace Owens. You know what I mean? Give a spill about the unnecessary. You know what I mean? About it being unnecessary and things like that. So I mean, my take on it is my take on it is personally.
Well, hold on.
It's,
Can we show the video? Is it possible for us to? You got the video logged in?
I don't got it queued up, but if you wanna
Yeah,
show a piece of it,
I
I
definitely
can.
want to find it.
They might block it.
All right, give me a let me
Um,
see if I can. All right, so let me see if I can
Go
pull
ahead.
it up.
While we do
Yeah.
that, Rosewood, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Definitely, shout out to everybody tapping in today, man. Happy Juneteenth to everybody around the world, man. And this is always a special day in Philadelphia to all Philadelphians. There's several events going on today, from downtown, in front of the Liberty Bell, all the way to Malcolm X Park out West Philly.
You breaking up bad, my brother. You breaking up bad, brother. Can you hear me?
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you was breaking up bad.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you good. I can hear you good. I see you good.
Yeah. But
Am I
as a
clear now?
yeah, it's better. Your vocals is coming through better now.
Okay.
But as the brother was saying, it's a lot of controversy behind Juneteenth. You have a lot of the white supremacists who don't want to support Juneteenth, which rightfully so. They're not going to support it. We shouldn't even ask. And within a lot of our own people,
No.
a lot of our own people who doesn't support Juneteenth for various reasons. So it's just as simple as that. We're gonna play the video of Candace Owens, her statement, courtesy of another show. If I'm not mistaken, I want to get the show name right. Indisputable TYT. So we use this in under the Copy
Right.
Act right a law of
Mm-hmm.
1974, Copyright Act of 107 to be specific. So we use this in under those guidelines for commentary and news purposes. We're not copyright and infringing on anybody's intellectual property. So with that being said, we'll play the video. Barnes, you back in? Give me a second. Let me get the brother Barnes back in.
And can I just add real quick? Can you hear me? Am I good on my end?
Yes, you are.
All right, now I want
Can't hardly hear him.
There were black troops, so there were lives lost on that other side. You know, so they're never going to get behind that. So they'll bring, you know, the young lady like we're about to bring on, y'all about to show. They'll get her up there to say whatever she's about to say, but they'll never get behind that because they don't want to speak on that part of Juneteenth, that the black troops had to go in there and they had to catch some wreck. So if they had to go in there and catch some wreck, they don't never want that to be told. So now it has to be told.
Right.
Prince, your mic muted, my J.
All right, thank you. I said we're gonna go into the video. I wanted to share the video, and we could just, I guess, tap, you know, pause and play if you want, if you brothers want. So I'm gonna play the video right now.
Yes, Candace Owens, the leader of all white supremacists in the United States of America. It seems as if Candace Owens, she is particularly upset about the audacity of Democrats and Republicans coming together to pass such an egregious piece of legislation known as Juneteenth. Now let's break down what Juneteenth is. Juneteenth is not a policy. Just imagine if they would have passed something like the George Floyd Policing and Accountability Act. I mean, damn, Candace may explode. Imagine if they would have passed, I don't know, HR 1 or possibly the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. Can Candace Owens handle something like that? So she's very upset that these Democrats and Republicans came together to pass this legislation. Not a policy, but a holiday. I have my feelings about that. I think Juneteenth is a good thing, but Juneteenth is not the goal. However, I'm not upset that we have a holiday celebrating independence in the United States of America. Let's be very honest. The first Independence Day we celebrate in this country is not really Independence Day because you still had slavery inside of the nation. Ultimate freedom is when everyone can be free. Juneteenth is not just a black holiday. It's not just a holiday to celebrate our reality of
skip it to the part where Candace Owens said though, bro.
To a place of freedom.
Yeah,
it is
indeed.
something to be celebrated by everyone and Juneteenth federal holiday. Here's some of what she said.
Obviously, I'm being hyperbolic, but I mean, I'm sure you've seen these Chinese kids on calculators. They're absurd. While our children are being told they should major in gender studies, while our children can't pass basic mathematic exams, while our children are completely illiterate, especially Black Americans, obviously being the group that is suffering the most academically because they're being told that they need critical race theory. They need to learn about race and slavery and Juneteenth. Did I mention Juneteenth? We need a holiday to celebrate Juneteenth. That's what our politicians should be doing. Our communities are completely distressed, but hey, let's do Juneteenth. Candace is a bad person. Let's all go talk about Candace while their children are able to calculate things that the average American child would just be completely lost in a classroom with 5-year-olds that are Chinese.
All right. We can stop this, bro. We can stop that, bro. That's terrible. But see, first of all, we gotta understand a couple things. This lady is clearly dumb, right? Ignorant. Right now, she said our community is in distress and our kids are going through all of this educational things because we want to learn about things like, I mean, critical race theory and stuff like that, and we worried about that. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we got to understand, like, who qualified her based on what? You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. And then two, we got to understand that white supremacy comes in all colors. Like, you know what I mean? Just because she got a black face, you know what I mean? Don't let that be astonishing and get everybody.
Nobody did.
Looking up at her numbers on Instagram. You see, she talking that She talking all that junk and she looking up at her. She's a clown. Like, come on. So that makes no sense for anybody to even take her seriously. She's obviously clearly ignorant. She's clearly a part of the white supremacies. She's paid up there. She's paid by a contribution in Fox and those people that already that's putting an agenda out there. So that's like, you know what I'm saying? That's just like that's equivalent as to your enemy saying you want to sleep with your wife or something. You know what I'm saying? The white supremacists getting that lady to prance around and act like she to point finger at us. Like my thing is this, right? If you got a problem with Juneteenth, right? My thing is this. Because we got a lot of holidays. I've been hearing about a holiday every day. I'm hearing about Best Friend Day. I'm hearing about Dog's Day. I'm hearing about, Cousin's Day. I'm hearing about every day. And I'm not hearing nothing about nothing. So, at the end of the day, that's part of it. But at the same time, the Juneteenth thing is nonsense.
Right.
Because we got to understand that when this supposedly Juneteenth, when slaves were supposedly free, like we still had segregation. We still had the Jim Crow laws. Like, you know what I mean? So we were still under the thumb. We were still getting hung by trees and getting our testicles cut off. Like, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, ain't nothing. It is really nothing to celebrate in a sense because the freedom was not acquired yet. You know what I'm saying? It would be a premature celebration.
No. Hey, Bond.
Yo.
We can't hear you, brother.
Can't hear you, bro. Your mic. You got some technical difficulties with Rosewood. But
let me say this.
Yeah, tap in.
Like when I listen to go ahead, brother, you got it.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. Your joint like going in and out, bro.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Nope. It's like we only can hear you when you say, "Can you hear me?" And then yeah, that joint is. I can't hear you, bro. Your mic is.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yep, you good.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi good. I don't know what's going on with this joint. It's still going in and out.
Yeah. Try to if you want to tap out and tap back in, try to reboot it or something.
Yeah, that's weird. When I started talking.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I was listening to the sister speak.
Who's
and
the sister?
Say again, brother.
What sister?
We was listening to Candace Owens speak, right?
Well, she ain't the sister though.
Yeah, no, she's not. But nonetheless, I was listening to the young lady speak, and she's doing a lot of juxtaposing. She's taking a lot of arguments, like educational arguments, talking about speaking on how China is
Right.
Children can do better calculus and things of that matter, right? Things of that nature, better math, and their scores is this, that, and the third is better. And she's trying to take that argument and place it with Juneteenth. Like, that's not the same thing. That's not even remotely the same thing. And by her doing that and people arguing that fact is just a no point. Like, there's no reason to argue. It's a straw man argument to argue whether Chinese children are doing better than our children. So should we celebrate Juneteenth? And that has nothing to do with anything. The fact is, Juneteenth is a celebration of people, our ancestors finding out in the latter parts of the West, or the South, excuse me, that that they were actually, it was written into law that slavery was abolished. So it took an extra 2 years on purpose.
2.5 years.
Right. So but then even with that, even amongst we speak on Juneteenth, but even amongst Juneteenth, we fail to realize that Native Americans still had black people enslaved after 1863. So well after that, until the Treaty of 1866, where the so-called black man that was enslaved by the Native Americans was freed, and they were called freemen, and they still, and even to this day, we're still not able to benefits of the rights of the freemen.
Morgan Freeman.
Go ahead, you got it, brother.
You back in, Rosewood?
Yeah. Am I good?
Yeah, sounding good, man.
All right. Yeah, I think I
Look better, sound better.
Yeah, I think I had something in the background opened up. Now, I don't want to jump back, and I'm going to come back to right with y'all. I was just going to say, Bonds, when the troops went in to Texas, they were the last holdout to keep slavery going. So every state succeeded to basically what we'll call the federal government today, and saying we're one country, slavery is over. Texas said we ain't doing that. We're going to keep it going. That's why they say don't mess with Texas and all that. They are proud because they were the last holdout for slavery. So there wasn't no thought of Jim Crow or segregation at that time. It's still war, basically. Right. So when those troops went in, and like I said, it was black troops, it was black cavalry, it was black, soldiers going in there and putting in work because these people wanted to hold out. Right. So that's why I celebrated, because we actually had black people go in there and the last holdout liberated. So it's up there on the federal level. Just like recognize it now on the federal level, you can't hide from it. Once the government recognizes it, you can't hide from it. And it's up to us to do the right things with it. Once it's recognized, then it's up to us to push the school boards to put it in the curriculum. To go to the state and say, this is what we want in the curriculum. This is how we want Juneteenth spoken of in these textbooks.
Okay. So what I would ask is a question, right? I pose a question. Boom. Here it is. How do we celebrate Juneteenth? I'm conflicted.
If you allow me to answer the question, brother, I think we should celebrate Juneteenth in any way you've seen fit. Ultimately, I believe we need to know the history. We need to teach the history. We need to teach the truth of the history. We need to always express that, we're not celebrating the fact of Juneteenth itself. We're celebrating the emancipation or the free, the last holdout and what we would call the American slavery. So again, I want everybody to remember that slavery didn't end on Juneteenth, right, on June 19th, 1863. No, the Native Americans still had black people enslaved up until 1866. So keep this in mind. With that, I'm gonna just pass it up to ask you, Rosewood. How do you think we should celebrate Juneteenth?
Now, I go with, really, like you said, the best way you see fit. But at the same time, I think it should be celebrated around, cultural places. So if there's places that, was definitely affected by slavery in your area, then you should be having celebrations there. That's why they just fought so long just to have a celebration for Juneteenth in front of the Liberty Bell. The state was there for so long for us not to have a parade in front of the Liberty Bell. But the year before, they were able to do it, and then they still have other ones, but everybody has their separate events. So it's still one. So like you said, it's how you see fit, what you want to do on that day, and how you want to structure and organize things.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not a. What say you, brother Barnes? What say you? How should we celebrate Juneteenth?
I think we should celebrate Juneteenth maybe by spreading knowledge in some kind of way. You know what I mean? Let's use it as an opportunity to do something that we don't do enough of, and that's the only true thing that's going to bring us out of any kind of poverty, destruction, and racism, and persecution, and oppression. You know what I'm saying? Let's learn something. Let's spread some news. Let's You know what I'm saying? That we should celebrate it perhaps the way we celebrate it. You know what I'm saying? Dialogue and growth and information, because it's so much information that, you know what I'm saying, is withheld from us, and we so preoccupied with the things that the society is throwing us that we can't even, you know what I'm saying, find that mental freedom to help us, you know what I'm saying, achieve our success, man, and reach our goals, man, climb as a people. So it's sad, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing, like with the Juneteenth, like, you know what I'm saying, like, yeah, I understand all of that, but you know what I'm saying, like both of those points that y'all brought up, but I kind of feel like, I mean, not for the same reasons as Candace Owens, obviously, but I still feel like, you know what I'm saying? We still like, look, you know what I mean? 14 Republicans voted against it, like in the House. Like, so, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still not going to be a general consensus that, you know what I mean? All people should be respected, you know what I'm saying, regardless of their race, you know what I'm saying, color, creed, like, you know what I mean? So if that's not the case, then how we all celebrating together? And if we're not all celebrating together, we just celebrating amongst ourselves, just the black people, then, you know what I'm saying? Then what is it then? You know what I mean?
Can
Because
I?
then you got 4th of July. That's their independence. That's
Well,
another thing people talking about. Like, you can celebrate Independence Day and no problem with that. Like, but if this is so-called our Independence Day, then, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I mean, which it is though, Bonds, because 1776, that isn't our Independence Day, and that's what those 14 Republicans were arguing about. That we're separated, and yes, we are, because that 4th of July isn't our Independence Day,
Right.
and they federally acknowledged Juneteenth as an Independence Day, not just for blacks, an Independence Day period. So it's like they say, like, or everybody should be celebrating this, and everybody should be learning from the mistakes of the past. It's just like you said, it should be more dialogue, more history being taught on this day, because we don't have enough time, like you said, Mitzi, or whatever it is. But this day, it should be always a day of teaching and a day of understanding what came before us in that struggle. And that's why we celebrate. So we teach first, we learn second, we celebrate last, and we celebrate in the growth of knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this.
I
Let
like
me ask you. Let me pose this question to you, brothers. Now,
Mhm.
is Juneteenth holiday, is it symbolism? Do you look at this as symbolism, or what? Or is this something that we can grasp on to move forward with?
What do you mean by symbolism, though?
I'm saying symbolism, as in, we've been arguing for reparations, right? We've been arguing for tangibles, right? For even within when we talking about over the last election, we was arguing tangibles, right? No vote without tangibles, no vote. That's what we was arguing. Some of us was arguing, and so now that Biden is in, he gives us a holiday. He gives Chinese people or Asian people legislation and $50 million, right? He gives them laws and $50 million, but he gives us a holiday. So when I ask the question, is this symbolism, which I believe it is symbolism, over something tangible? So which is, what's you guys' opinion on that?
Um, I, you want to go first, Bonds, or?
No, you can go first, because yeah, you
Now,
go first.
I would definitely say yes, you're on point with the symbolism, because I was talking to Bonds earlier. We've been celebrating Juneteenth in Philadelphia since I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
So all these events have been going on since I was a child. We've been, learning the history and being one with your blackness, on this day in Philadelphia, always. This Saturday is always dedicated to blackness all over the city. It's not about any other race. And I'm not trying to, be on that type of time, but it's just not. And
That's a
Philadelphia
fact. But see,
always
Philly is a
about us.
different place. Like
True,
Philly, see,
true.
Philly is. I could see that, because see, Philly is the city of, you know what I mean, brotherly love. Like, so Philly is, and there's a lot of honorable brothers, a lot of religious black brothers in those communities where, and they kind of, have more of a say. So whereas then you're like in Arizona, shit, I'm in Georgia. and we both from New York, where listen, we got our hoods and stuff like that, and we have our voices in the community, but we don't have a general consensus of us and the things we want to do, in Philly, where is the you know what I'm saying, the Muslim hip hop, boxing, just even things like, and you can add Juneteenth to it, like just even you know what I mean, just
it's really everybody. But I understand what you're saying.
I love Philly. Shout out to Philly, man.
Yeah, thank you. And that's the thing. Right now we have a severe, homicide pandemic going on. But at the same time, when it comes to this day right here,
right,
it's not like we don't forget about it, but it's right now in this one where we teach and we learn. Where it's like giving the youth, even with this, like, all right, yes, it's symbolism because we already been acknowledging it, and now they're going to try to put it up on the pedestal and profit off of it. We live in capitalism, so of course they're going to make it symbolism. But at the same time, the people that were already doing it can really go in there and craft it and say this is not right, or this is how we want to express Juneteenth. I think we have an opportunity to do that. And like you said, we do have to really spread it to other communities and really come together as a unit and go to these communities or whatever like that and have Juneteenth celebrations, but it's hard. It's hard because, like I said, we had to fight just to even have a parade, have the parade go past the Liberty Bell. So they said, okay, we'll let y'all go past, but you know what people did? They stayed there. They stayed there. We ain't just going to walk past. We stayed there. And then African performances in front of the Liberty Bell. And this is the same place where, George Washington had slaves, same place where they broke that same bell when they got free. So to have that black experience on that same lawn in front of that same bell is really something really, really necessary for the city. Because the young boys can see this, and people from the outside looking in can see that it's not only deaf here.
Yeah. And I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of scary. It does make me mad to think that maybe they just would be throwing you something instead of giving you something tangible, like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I could say that, but then I feel like a lot of people ain't even in a position to be able to handle it anyway, because you gotta be a certain place mentally. Look at all they just look at everybody just got the little PPP loans and did all of that stuff, and SBA loans and stimulus, and they were sitting home getting paid for nothing, for unemployment for months on at a time, and still couldn't get right. So obviously money ain't the answer anyway.
Hold on, wait.
Maybe Juneteenth is better because it's a day you can reflect on whether it's something you can't waste. Whether it's, if you had something tangible, you might get wasted or get it taken from you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, look. I understand what you're saying, but let's not change the narrative, brother. Well, what a person, the government giving what's owed. We're not asking for a handout. We're not asking for no favors. We're not asking for anything other than what is due. Here's a bill. Give us what's due. So I'm never gonna say you giving me tangibles because I'm not in the mental place to do right by those tangibles. That we shouldn't have tangibles over something symbolic as a holiday, something that I can't eat. I can't feed my kids with a holiday. I can never put nothing in their stomach with a holiday. We need tangibles, and this is another clear-cut example of the government giving us their ass to kiss. Because again, Asian people experience a little bit of problems. 1% of the BS.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Hold on, let me just finish the statement. Asian people experience a little bit of what black people experience in this country every single day, and immediately the government, Joe Biden, comes and gives them legislation, law, and capital. They give them tangible $50 million. So y'all give us a holiday. I look at that as a slap in the face, and it's cool. We've always been celebrating Juneteenth. Whether you, the white supremacists, acknowledge it or not is irrelevant to us that celebrates it. I don't need you to co-sign Juneteenth for me. I just need my money. I need my check. I need my reparations for all the oppression. The same way those Jewish people got reparation from America for what transpired in Germany, and America had nothing to do with that. But yet we gave them reparations and continue to give them $21 billion over 35 billion over a 10-period year. But go ahead, you got the floor,
Okay.
bro.
No, I agree, bro. I just think, in contrast, right, that, you know, let's reflecting on a tangible thing, and then a thing like a holiday of recognition, a national recognition. It days like this will spark questions forever. You know what I'm saying? And give opportunity for us to grow and our future generations to grow and keep this. Whereas opposed to, the money, the financial, us not being in, if we can't properly let it grow, then you know what I'm saying, it won't be as beneficial. But I do understand that, we did build this thing, and it is doing pretty good. So yeah, we do definitely deserve, you know what I mean, them kickbacks, and like you said, everybody else has got it. So that's understandable. All right, so but I guess moving along, right, or next question would be, well, you got a question, Rose? Would you want to throw out there or something? Or
Now, I would say that, yes, we are due. We've been overdue, and I don't think we have the economic infrastructure to take on what they're giving us right now. So I look at them recognizing this as a federal holiday as a step in the right direction. So now that's why I said we have to use this holiday. No, it can't feed your family, but it can feed your family mentally, so they can prosper in other ways and ask those questions like mine said, so that the future generations aren't, falling for the okie doke. They're consciously aware. And that's what when they made this a federal holiday, that's why all those people like Candace Owens are getting mad, because they know now the kids can be consciously aware every year, no matter what you're doing.
right,
This day right here can make you
gonna
consciously
make
aware.
you consciously aware. When
And
you
this
gave them 40 acres and a mule, they ain't gonna do nothing but take it to Versace anyway. Go give it to, they
but,
gonna give
but
it to
but
Gucci anyway.
that's why I said we take the holiday first and we learn. So then when it's time, or when they talk about any kind of reparations, or we get to that point, inshallah, that we have the economic structure not to go blow it or whatever, or actually start Black Wall Streets like they had in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and all that. We can start those things again, but it's not going to happen overnight. I don't think we can just jump from where we are here to straight reparations. It's
They
just
gonna
have
do
to. I
an
think we have
IG
to.
with the mule.
But let me say this real quick, Rosewood. But that's the argument of a lot of brothers, a lot of conscious people are saying, like, for you to for Biden and the powers that be to sign Juneteenth into law, like, we didn't need that. We didn't need a law for Juneteenth, for a holiday. I mean, let's be realistic. I don't know if y'all know.
There's a lot of things we need. There's a lot of things we need. Not to cut you off. There's a lot of
No,
things we need.
of course, but in Arizona they don't celebrate Martin Luther King Day. You don't get that off out here. Like, you still got to go to work.
What?
Pay day off. No.
Hold up.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
Hold up. Repeat that, bro.
In Arizona, you still have to. I don't know about the schools, but I know you got to go to work. I know I worked on Martin Luther King Day, and I didn't get an extra $1. I didn't get nothing. You got to work mandatory, so they don't care for that out here. But
No, Arizona is
when you focus, when you ask the white supremacists, when you ask some white supremacists to recognize a holiday, versus, because now you just gave them an option, right? And this is an option that we didn't ask for. We never said, yo, give us Juneteenth as a national holiday. We've been asking for the same things over and over: better schools, better education, and I don't even, like, people have been arguing about jobs. We don't have a problem. We're not lacking jobs, bro. We lack unemployment. We have a problem with unemployment. We don't have a problem with joblessness. Like Paris Hilton is jobless. She don't, you know what I'm saying? She's unemployed. She doesn't have to work. That's her being unemployed. We have a problem with joblessness. We don't have jobs within our communities. So we got to build our own economic power base.
Right.
We can use reparations for whatever argument people can say. I know if you put some money in my hand, I'm going to do the right thing. You brothers going to do the right thing. I'm not worried about whether my neighbor's going to do the right thing, because I'm going to do the right thing. And when he blow his money, I'll give him a job. You know what I'm saying? It's just as simple as that. But give us the option.
I understand.
I'm ending with that.
The poor people's, what was it? The poor people's campaign.
Yeah.
And after MLK died, that's who negotiated that first march in about '68, I think, for the Juneteenth march, the first march that they had. So that was something that they gave, you know what I mean, after the death of MLK or whatever, as far as the celebration starting, you know what I mean? And that's 100 and something years after, you know what I mean, it was granted, I guess, a permit to be able to throw a rally in public under the pretense of celebrating Juneteenth. Now, this was 100 years after that. You know what I'm saying? So I guess if things can make progress 100 years from now, maybe that Juneteenth would be worth celebrating.
Hey, you know what, brothers? I would have rather them write Malcolm X Day into law. I would have rather them give us a holiday for him than Juneteenth.
I wish they would. They're not going to do that, bro. We had to fight so hard in the city just to get Malcolm X Park out in West Philly. And right now they're having a major Juneteenth celebration down there. You know, it's beautiful down there, you know, out in West Philly. You know, and they had to fight so hard with the state and the city of Philadelphia just to name it Malcolm X Park. You know, so you got so many people that's entrenched in the old ways, whether it's black or white, you know, that oppose, you know, these ways of thinking as being black people as free and not being in the structure that we're in now. You know, getting out of the structure that we're in and really being economically structured, mind, body, and sound, so we can move forward. So like he says, it doesn't matter what my neighbor does, because if he messes up, I'll give him a job. But there's still always lessons to be learned. I'm never going to turn them away so they won't learn. That's the thing. Because
if my neighbor's not productive, then I don't need him working for my company. I don't care. I'm not hiring somebody just because he's black. I ain't with that.
Now, you always going to have throwaway people, bro. You always going to have throwaway people, and that's just a societal term. You're always going to have throwaway people no matter what race it is. You can't save everybody.
Okay, so not to cut you up, but I want to ask y'all a question. I want to turn this into a question. So, because that makes me think of a question. What's good for you necessarily good for the people, though? Right? And how do you balance that now? How do you balance what's good for you?
You got to be more specific with that.
Okay, you said what do you mean? Good, right, like it would be good for you to get reparations over a holiday. Would it be the best for people in general to not get the holiday and just get a check? Because you may know what to do with that check, whereas you may be right there at the cusp, you just may need a check just to get you know what I mean, just to get your XYZ and you go. But then somebody else whose house gone and nobody, and then they live in how they, then I mean that check is not going to be enough to redirect their whole life pattern. Like it's got to be more work done there than just the financial thing. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be a lot more work.
I got what you're saying. I definitely got what you're saying.
What's good for you, good for the people, and how much does that matter?
I mean, again, you know, I'm of the foundation of, you know, every man stand behind their own work. So that being said, I wouldn't say what's good for me is good for everybody else. I wouldn't take that stance. You know what I'm saying? But I will take a general stance to say that, you know, for us to speak of race relations in America, right, and across the globe, but we in America, so let's deal with this. Because we're in America and we deal with race relations, how can there ever be any reciprocity, right? How can there be any repairing of the relationships from slavery to now if there's no reciprocity? We never got anything, and we never received anything from the labor of slavery, from Jim Crow to all the way to now. We never received any financial compensation, yet and still the world has benefited off of the backs of our ancestors. So we need to be properly compensated before we can even talk about race relations. Before we could talk about unity, there is no unity in this country amongst race relationships because we've never been reciprocated the atrocities that has transpired to us. Let me use an example. Let's look at during the time of World War I with when they put Asians, American, Japanese people in internment camps, right? What did they do? Did they just say, sorry, here's a holiday, get out of here? Or no, they cut a check where people are still getting paid today from what transpired. The descendants of them are still getting paid today for what transpired in the Japanese being placed in internment camps during World War I. So I don't want to hear anything about people saying anything about us not being able to receive a monetary reciprocation, bro, when everybody else has received it. So give us our money, give us our land, we go do what we want. If we blow it, that's on us. And then America is clear, period. But at least pay what you owe and then let us do what we do. And with that, I'll end it.
Now, I'll take on that note that reparations isn't only financial. That's not only financial. Reparations is more than financial. It's something they owe us, and not just money. So, with saying that, it's like, what comes first? Is it the money, or is it the education? Is it the other things? Is it the history? Is it having a history spoken right so everybody knows the truth? You know, for generations to come, not hiding it. Like, is that what comes first? What comes first? Because, yeah, they can give us our money or 40 acres and a mule, but then they're going to say, all right, how much money to give us? How long do they give us to us? How much land are they giving it from? And then who land are they taking away from to give to us? You got to fight them. So there's several variables before reparations can get put out. And the first one I'll say is, it's not just about money. They owe us a lot more than just money.
No, brother, I'm not disputing that reparations can come in multiple forms, right? Mm-hmm. But capital has to be one of them. Let's be clear on that.
Yes, but I'm not saying which one comes first, though.
Right, capital has to. Hold on. Let this ambulance go past. Hold on, I'm outside. Forgive me, guys, for my background. I would say capital has to come first for the basis of, you can give me land. I need money to plant, to buy seeds. I need money to till the ground, to till it, and be a husbandry to the land. So I need capital. So just give me the capital. I'll go deal with my own land. You can give me education. We can see that American education has never benefited Black people at all in this country, and in fact, there's a school to prison pipeline from the American educational system. So that ain't the answer. We need money.
Hold on, not to cut you off. You have to separate it from just going to college and getting a trade.
No. I'm saying
you need to have a trade. You need to have a knowledge on how to grow things.
I understand that, but I'm speaking, and if we looking at today, using today as a template, we look at American society, we can look at the prison, the school to prison pipeline. So education ain't the answer. We need capital so we can build our own schools, and now we can teach our own curriculum. Okay. Now we can teach group economics. Okay, now we can teach. It ain't about sink or swim education. Now we could teach.
The right powers that be that can orchestrate those situations need capital. You know what I mean? I would say those need capital. If you talk, because education is the key. So if you're talking about building our own educational institutions, then whoever is building those institutions, then they need the capital. If the average man
give it to the individual, and then we can
get his own capital.
Hold on, brother. Give it to the individuals. I give you X amount, take X amount. We, as three brothers come together and say, we're going to start a school. We put our capital together amongst all three. Everybody put up $1, we go get a $3 school. It's as simple as that. We determine the curriculum, we fund it, we do everything. Now, all I'm asking is this, right? When we talk about revolution, the first thing is this. If you asking your oppressor to do right by you, you can forget about it, right? So, and I'm gonna incorporate the Juneteenth into this. When we talk about revolution, I'm saying revolution is complete constructive change, and that goes with the mentality. So when we speak of our mentality, we got to understand that when dealing with white supremacy, we have to remove ourselves all the way and then go back and start over, rebuild the way we think, the way we look at things, the way we deal with each other, the way we educate each other. We got to reprogram all of this. But it starts with us getting what's owed and what's due. We're not asking for a favor by saying demanding reparations, bro. That's a check that's due. And everybody benefits today. The same way you pay the gross national debt with your income taxes, right? Same way you pay this gross national debt. Everybody in America, foreign and domestic, needs to pay black people reparations because you guys is sitting at a table that your father had nothing to do with building, but yet you're eating the food off of that table. And my ancestors built it. I need to cut my
I don't because I feel like this reparation talk is a whole nother show, right? So I don't want to. And now we already 45 minutes in. I want us to wrap this up. It's Juneteenth and people free. Let's let them. Yeah, I mean, reflect on this and keep growing. So let's give our final little talks, man, and debate here. We'll start with I guess we'll start with you, Rosewood.
All right. Yeah, man. Happy Juneteenth to everybody, man. And no matter what state you in, celebrate it to the fullest. Because like I said, the brothers had to go in there for the last holdout, which was Texas, and really go in there to put work in, to make them realize that there is no more slavery. No more slaves. So just if you forget about all the other stuff, just recognize those brothers that fought that day. Those black men that went down there and fought that day, just for us to be able to talk about it now. So celebrate it wherever you are.
Okay.
All right, Chloe, you could go ahead, Barnes.
All right. I'll say, to me, it's conflicted feelings, but ultimately, I would say I don't care, but I do care, but it doesn't matter, if you can understand that, right? I care about our people, and of course I care about the respect that we get, but it doesn't matter, right? Because like they say with any small situation, right? People only do to you what you allow them to do, right? So at this point in the game, I can't say it enough. I keep saying it, but it's really wisdom at the forefront. That's what this whole the brand, the whole new religion, the whole thing, the whole post reason of the show, the whole reason of this network, the whole reason I'm here right now is because I believe in. I'm not just trying to pass knowledge. I'm trying to get knowledge. I'm trying to converse in knowledge. I'm trying to grow in wisdom. You know what I'm saying? As well as everything else. And I feel like that's the only true way that we gonna win. Like, you know what I'm saying, is being smart and eluding the ignorance. You know what I'm saying? And thinking on a higher level and understanding deeply. And it starts with the things that we paying attention to and the knowledge that we are gathering. It all starts with that. So I don't, you know what I mean? That's not the issue, but I'll take it, I guess. You know what I mean? It's like if somebody's hungry and we need a meal and they bring you a cup, like, okay, I hope some juice is about to get poured in this. You know what I mean? So, but
I feel you, my
I got you, my brother. For my finals, the closing statements as we close out the show, I want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for all the supporters. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow the network, New Religion Network. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all platforms.
And the website.
And the website, exactly. And the website. Go ahead, brother. Plug in the website.
The newreligionnetwork.com. The show's live there and there. The newreligionnetwork.com. Nothing else to it.
All day, twice in the night. Now that being said, for our people, man, indeed, man, teach about Juneteenth. If you want to do any form of celebration, all celebration begins with teaching. So teaching our history to our children, teaching the true history, teaching them how to combat the lies that's being taught in our public school system that Christopher Columbus discovered America in 1492. So we need to combat these things with truth. And Juneteenth is only a small monicum of the truth that we have to reveal to our people, as specifically our children. So with that being said, you know, I do believe that we must in all things we must give all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, and by His only begotten Son, Yahweh, who the world even calls Jesus Christ. That being said, I want to say shalom, shalom, my brothers. Shalom.
Peace, y'all. That merch coming.
Peace.
Peace, y'all. Everyone, the episode, if y'all missed it, it's fire.
Definitely.
Peace, y'all. Thanks for coming out, y'all.
Thank y'all, man. Enjoy Juneteenth, everybody, man. It's a special black day.
Yeah, you can plug your joint, Rosewood, your info, where people can reach you.
You already know. Everybody, spill_ENT on the gram. Hit me up. You know, in the city of Philadelphia, working with the political music, the political scene and the music scene. I'm sorry. You know, try and bridge those so we can have a voice in the streets on the political side of things. And, you know, doing a lot of things in the city of Philadelphia. And that's working with like-minded brothers like my man Bonds over here. The Spill ENT website will be up, you know, at the end of this week. You know, everything will be on there. You know, holler at me on the gram. You know, check me out on the gram. See what I'm doing in the city of Philadelphia. If you want to tap in, salute to my guy, Bonds Simmons, man.
Well, I appreciate you, bro.
That's always.
Appreciate you, my bro. You already. It's the network, y'all. The new religion. Thanks. Peace.